Hello, everyone. Hello. We are live, and this is Shining Hawk Healing, and I'm Toni, and we're welcoming Jane from Jane the Seeker Tarot. I'm so excited to have her here. I'm so excited to have you here, Seeker Tarot. What's happening? Is it
It
feeding
was me.
back?
It was me. It was me.
Oh,
So
okay.
sorry. It was
I was
me.
like, okay, now I get it.
It was me, and I'm so sorry.
No worries. We're very laid back here. We don't care.
As I realized it, I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Hey guys. Hey Joe. Marita's Mirror, Jay, Joy, Jean, Kelly, Jean, Emerald. Oh, Emerald Buddha. That's lovely. What a great name.
Isn't it?
That's awesome. I love that. Jane, so welcome. I'm over the moon that you're here because I'm really interested in the angel work that you do. And it's just it's so refreshing to have someone who can make that jump for us, because I was told that Archangel Ariel was my angel of, I don't know how you say it. Dude, angels don't belong to you. They just come and visit you, or they look out for you, right? They just watch out for you.
Well, I
So,
kind of feel like it's part of your spirit team.
mm.
You know what I mean? It's like a. It's like a. It's a team. It's a team effort, and we all have. I call them balloons. Like my team, they are up there, and they're in helium balloons, but they're with me. And then so but I feel like I walk around with all these colorful balloons all around me.
I love that.
That's my spiritual team, and they're always with me.
I love that. I love that. I mean, I would walk around with balloons just anyway,
Right?
because they make me happy. So
Me too.
that would be awesome to have balloons following you everywhere. That would be awesome.
Yeah, and then when you think of every balloon that you have, every spirit guide or whatever it is that you want to call them, angel, spirit guide, Bob, whatever you call your whatever it is, it's always like there's one leader and they've got like fives. So you may have 5 or 10 balloons, but underneath every one of those 5 or 10 balloons is 5 or 10 other balloons. So it's like it's amazing that our feet even touch the ground.
Yeah. What was that movie Up? Remember that movie Up, where the old man just had all these balloons in his whole house? Remember
Yes.
his whole house?
Yeah. I mean,
He
maybe
was in deep in spirit.
yeah, maybe I stole that from him. I don't know, but I do remember. It was past my time, but I did have children that were of that.
Yeah.
Well, they were a little bit older too, but I absolutely saw that movie.
Oh, I bawled my eyes out with that movie. It was it was so beautiful, but so poignant and so sad and so happy at the same time. It's weird. It gave you all those feelings.
As life often is.
Yes. So welcome everyone to the channel. Welcome everyone in the chat. If you are watching this after the live, please give me those thumbs up and hit that bell to be reminded when I do another video, and like and share, subscribe if you like. If you like what you see here, if you like the energy that you feel here, go to Jane's channel. She is Jane the Seeker, and she is on YouTube. So go, and it's Jane. Your show is on really early in the morning.
I know I don't get the West Coast people, and that's fine. I did that to keep myself small because I was in the very beginning. It felt like a nice intimate space for me. So that could be why. I mean, I used to be on at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time,
Oh,
even earlier. And I moved it up to 9:15.
you were just practicing. You were rolling out all the things just to testing all the things in your show so that you could come out and be fabulous in
Yes,
prime time.
yes. Let's just go with that, shall we? I like it.
I love it. So yes, you are doing, you do angel readings. So is it possible that maybe we can get an angel reading from you at some point later on after you've given us all this other um, things to think about, all this other wisdom? Because I want to talk to you about your origin story. How did you get started?
Whoo, I'm gonna nutshell it.
Okay.
Ooh, puppies. Um, I I'm just gonna when I was a very small child, I used to see people around my bed, and they would say to me, I didn't know what they I personally thought that they were saying to me that I thought they were surgeons and nurses and that they were gonna operate on me. And I used to go run to my parents going, "There's these people in my room and they're gonna operate on me." And my parents were like, "Go back to bed." And later on, I connected it to what they were actually telling me was that I was going to have many surgeries in my life and that they would be there for me. So they would always be there for me.
So did you end up having a lot of surgeries?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
I have. Like not a ton. I mean, there's people who had way more than me, but I've had more than my fair share.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
so
amazing.
so
And
that
then when you got past that point of, did you accept it, or and when did you come to accept your gifts of
well, it's okay. So I went through that period and my everybody was like, "Oh no, 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 no," and whatever. I wasn't uh what do you call that? I wasn't supported. I wasn't supported by anyone. So I buried it deep down inside, deep down inside. And and I was very much an empath, and so I would feel all these feelings around me. And so I had to bury that deep down inside. And and it has been from my early teens to I am now 60 years old. It has been a progression. It has been a it's been a connecting of the dots.
Hmm.
It's been more of a oh, that's what that meant. That's what that was.
Yeah.
That's why I did that. It's a connecting of the dots. And so that I think is the most beautiful part of the work that we do.
Hmm.
And the growth that daily we work on our growth, and we try to become who we explore more about ourselves. I like to think of it as being as the hermit card, where we go inside so that we can shine our light. We
Hmm.
can be the way showers. So yeah, it's been a lot of dot connecting, and I'm always a work in progress.
Well, wow, it's you said December when you started your channel.
Hmm.
It's starting to blossom now. You're just really falling into it and coming into your own. And I caught the end tail of your show a few days ago, and I was, first of all, I was like, well, how can she get up in the morning and do this work? It's just but it's a wonderful start for everyone's day, right? It's a wonderful way to start the day, and thank God for you.
Thank you. Well, it was something that I was doing anyway for
Hmm.
my own self. Every morning I would get up, I would do the angels, I would do my meditations, and then I sleep with the angels. I This is the truth. I pull the angels, I put them up on my altar. I think about them throughout the day, and then I sleep with them, and then I pick crystals that sort of match that angel energy. And I sleep with, and I put them in a little bag. Like, here's my bag for tonight. So I put
Oh,
them in a little
wow.
bag, and then I sleep with the angels and that little bag under my pillow every night. So just to absorb more of it. I don't, it's just what I do. And I thought, you know what? I do this anyway. Might as well just go on, and there's going to be some people like me that do this kind of stuff or want to do this kind of stuff. And it's just kind of like, here I am. You can do this too. Everybody can do this.
You have your stuff in a little bag. I have like all these
Oh
individual that I mean, I have them in the bed. I wake up in the morning, I,
my,
I go to sleep holding them in my hands and things like that. And sometimes I can wake up and they're there, but a lot of times they're just like, my husband's like,
that's so funny. I mean, because I have them all around me right now. I mean, I surround myself all day long with, and are you kidding? I could never sleep with this in my bed. It is sharp. But that would be owie. But yeah, that's why, I mean, I have a lot of the bigger pieces, but I have a lot of smaller pieces.
hmm.
And I just find by putting the smaller pieces in a bag and putting them under my pillow with a key, because you never know when you're going to come to a portal and need a key to open up that portal. There's doors everywhere.
Yes, yeah.
So I sleep
I
with
love it.
a key under my pillow,
I love
and
it.
the crystals and the angels. And my husband stays on his side of the bed. You have a nice big bed. But yeah, I feel like I'm sleeping with a lot of people. But
And I think he does too.
I know one night when I don't know about you, but when I get a brand new deck, I will, sleep. I will do my stuff that I do with it, and then I sleep with it, right? And I was sleeping with a deck the other night, and at first I had it on the side of my husband's side, and then I was like, oh no, 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 I need to uh, put this on the other side, and hopefully it won't fall off the bed. So I had, and it was fine, and then they just work so well for you.
Yes, because you've tuned yourself. They've been tuned to you, and I love that. I always put a deck under my pillow, and it's just, I didn't, you know what? I didn't put under my pillow my deck, the deck I made.
Well,
I
you made it.
I made
So it came
it's
from
like,
you,
okay, I
which
didn't.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
That's the only one I didn't feel compelled to sleep with. I mean, I work with it morning and evening, but I didn't, it's by the bed. So I guess technically I'm sleeping with it.
That's
So,
close enough. Yeah, I feel compelled to get your deck.
we'll talk later. We'll talk later. So do you, when you're planning your shows, I mean, do you have a lot of guests on your show? I saw that you had a woman who was doing Lenormand. Do you also do Lenormand?
Only a tiny. I have the cards that she uses. That's my sister-in-law, and
Oh,
she's in the chat right now. I just saw her. Hi, Lisa.
hi, sis.
Um, uh, I have Kipper. I have Lenormand. I
Oh,
have,
Kipper.
it's just I find it easier to, especially when I'm doing my lives. I need a quick
Mm.
when people are, and I can't. So for me, I'm just tarot, or
Do you
even
do oracle cards as well?
I do. I have some of the same oracle cards as you. And it's so funny because I used to say, "Oh, I don't understand this oracle card thing. I don't like oracle cards." And then I was looking and I was counting my decks. I have so many oracle decks. So many, and I was like, Oh, wait a second. Here I thought I was like the tarot lady, but no, I have all kinds of oracle decks as well. I even use playing cards.
Bob Ross.
I got them out because I even use Bob Ross playing cards because there's wisdom in just about you can find, and Bob Ross has a lot of wisdom.
Somebody told me I sounded like Bob Ross. Your voice is soothing like Bob Ross. I was like, hey, that's a compliment. I love him. I loved watching him.
I do too. My kids and I, my adult, they're in their late 20s. We all did a Bob Ross together.
You did.
Yes, the four of us, we all sat there and we picked a Bob Ross and we had it on YouTube. And then we all did the Bob Ross at the same time and then compared all of
How'd they come out?
they were all completely different.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
wow.
And that's really interesting. And I just love that. It's like it's the same thing when I watch readers read intuitively
Mm-hmm.
tarot decks, and they'll get a little different, like interpretation or just like the feelings from it.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of that same way with this art, we all we all followed the same thing. We
Mm-hmm.
all tried to do the same thing, and they all look completely different.
I think, yeah, it feels like the interpretation and the feeling and the energy might be different because everyone is different, of course. We all have our own thing, but it sounds like the energy was coming to each person differently in a different, manifestation. So that's interesting. That's really, really interesting. We should do that. We should, we should do that. We
It's so
should.
fun. It's
Yeah,
so fun.
I love art and painting. It's just, it speaks to me. That's what I do when I'm just watching TV. I will just sit down and take my iPad and my pencil and just start drawing. And then I'll just draw like a circle and then I'll liquefy it and make it into something. Because that's what happened with some of these cards that I made in this deck, like this was just a blob of blackness and I just manipulated it
Ooh,
and it turned into a dress. And I
yeah.
was like, "Oh, that's a black dress and that's a party dress. Oh, dance. Okay, dance."
I love that.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It just happened and it like this as well. Like that was just a big blob of colors. And then this just came out of it. And I was like, "Whoa, it looks like a spine, it looks like balance, looks like chakra." Oh, okay. All right. That's how all the cards came together. It's like channeling, somebody channeling a book or something like that. I don't know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know. So yeah, so art is so amazing. So what are some of the things that you use to put yourself in the space of gratitude, or in the space that you need to in order to work, in order to have communication with the angels, or or your guides or whatever? Do you have a process that you use?
I do. I do. I chant. So every morning before I go on, and that's why I had to keep changing the time back. I started at 8 o'clock in the morning. Now it's 9:15 Eastern. Um, but I chant for about 45 minutes. Om mani padme hum, that type of thing.
Mhm.
And I invite in the angels, the spirit guides, beings of light, the ancestors. Then I do the whole, connecting, seeing the, grounding myself. And in my visualization, there is a liquid gold river of knowledge in the
Mm.
center of the earth, and there's a big gold anchor, and I wrap my roots around that gold anchor, and then I drink up from that gold the liquid gold river of knowledge, and I bring it. And then as I'm bringing it up into my body, I'm also spreading it out um, to the, I'm sharing wisdom and knowledge with the root systems and the ley lines and the ancestors. Like, because when I go down, I realize that I'm going through all the dirt of time that there ever
Mm.
was, right? So there's a lot of wisdom and knowledge in sending down your roots and connecting to all of that knowledge and wisdom.
That's so, that is so strange because that's when I journey, I go into, the first thing I do is go through a portal in a tree, an
Ah,
oak tree. So I go into that portal and then I go down the stair, a spiral staircase down into the root system. And that's where I connect with guides, ancestors, all of animals, everything, the water, the everything. And that's amazing. That sounds wonderful. I love this, the visual of the golden anchor that keeps you grounded. I love that. I love that. That gives me chills. Thank you for that.
yeah, and I love your process too. I mean, they're very similar, but isn't it lovely to share, to collect and share that energy? It's like I'm telling you what's going on up here right now,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're telling me through all of the ancestors and the dirt of time, as I say, through everything. Um, they're sharing with me, and it's not a conscious thing really, but it's a sharing of that wisdom and knowledge, and I love it. I just love it, and I feel like even if I don't, like, I don't have like aha moments, but I don't, not every moment is an aha moment.
Yeah.
It's a just, I got this and I slid right in, and I'm connected, and that's
You have holy moments. Holy,
well, just
holy crap.
I mean, just because I like to work with angels, it's really, I wanted everyone to know that the angels were, and I wanted to remind everyone that the angels are there for us, and all we have to do is ask, because they can't come willy-nilly messing around in your life.
And they don't want to. They
Yeah,
got other things to do.
yeah. But if you ask them, and then, like Gerald always says, tarot stash, ask, but then remember to listen.
Yeah, because it is very human to ask and not listen for the answer, because we're so busy talking over, things that we get into that flow of just like barreling through things and not really paying that much attention. So Marie Henson says, make some rice and cornbread in a bit. Oh, she's making rice and cornbread.
Ooh, I want some of that.
I want some cornbread. Oh my gosh, it's been so long. I'm not eating bread at the moment.
Ah,
So Vivian says, wonderful, Jane. They love that that preparation that you do. And oh gosh. Gina says some moments are ha 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 moments.
yeah, I saw that. I was good. I love that, Gina. Yes, sometimes some are aha, and some are ha ha ha.
The joke's on who?
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Like, which reminds me, like one time, uh, somebody said, I keep asking for the most benevolent outcome, and I keep asking for this, that, and the other, and I keep asking, asking, and asking, and I'm not getting it. And I'm like, how do you know you're not? Maybe this, what you're getting, is the most benevolent outcome. You can't fight it. You can't say, and I, because if you're asking for the most benevolent outcome, or you're
Mhm.
asking for whatever it is you're asking for, you can't expect the way it's going to show up in your life, because we
Yeah.
don't know how it's going to show up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's like asking. I asked for it to be one way, and you can only see it coming through in one way when it's actually coming through in another way. And if you're not open to having it in whatever way it shows up, then you won't find it because you're too closed off to it. So yeah,
Yeah,
you get what you need, not always what you want. Yes, that's
exactly,
true,
flowing.
flowing.
Yeah,
That is so true.
amen. And
So when you do your chanting in the morning,
Mhm.
so do you have a dedicated meditation space?
Yes,
Because your husband's sleeping and you're chanting.
yes, yes, I do. And I when our children do move out, I'm going to be rearranging everything right now because right now I'm sharing my room with my cats. This is the cat room, but I have this space right here, which
Yeah.
is a sacred space, and I've got a big bookshelf. I have my crystals, so I have a dedicated space. Soon I shall have a whole dedicated room that I won't be showing the cats. But yeah, and I mean, I do the whole thing where I lay down a cloth that I lay down a special cloth for when I'm doing lives. I lay down one particular cloth. When I'm doing readings for myself, I lay down a different cloth.
Mm.
I like to keep everything separate. I have tarot cards that I use on the internet and tarot cards that I use that are for me only.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know why I feel that way or why I do that so much, but I've always been I think it that is one way that I set my boundaries. It's like I don't really know how to set boundaries with people or with a lot of different things, but with energy, I know I need to protect and I need to set boundaries with it where energy is concerned. So
Mm.
at least I do that, you know.
You had some cards. Are they angel cards? Or are they just the angel cards? Are they the white ones? The
No, no.
No,
I
okay.
don't have the white ones. I have a few different ones. I have a lot of different ones. I use the Diana Cooper's Archangels because I
Oh,
was trying to um replace my Doreen Virtue deck just because it's so old and I don't like to shuffle it anymore. And then I use Kyle Gray's Keepers of the Light. So this
oh.
has Ascended Masters in it as well. And this
Mm.
morning Master Buddha showed up.
Oh.
So I love that. And then I use the Mother Mary cards. I love Mother Mary. Um, and then I have all kinds of different angel decks, but I tend to. Oh, and then these. I love these little things. They're called Divine Doors. And
Ooh, those
yeah,
are
and they're just a
nice.
little. These are like the period at the end of the sentence of the reading. This is the this is what we do.
What's your favorite card in that deck? Do you have a favorite?
I haven't seen them all yet.
Oh, so you have you
They
haven't?
surprised me.
Oh,
This
okay.
isn't one of those decks where you go through everything and, oh, what does this mean and what does that mean?
Mhm.
It's not that way because the message is just on there. Like, all right, so like this card, if I was, this is, so they're all like doorways and doors. And this one
Mm,
says distant dream. See, it just has a little thing on the back and it's kind of glossy, so it's hard to see. And I'm sorry.
no
But
worries.
it says, the distance calls your heart to roam free as you dare to dream it, so must it be.
I love that. I
So
love those cards.
they're beautiful. I don't know where the box is. Oh, here's the box, in case anybody wants to know. Divine Doors.
Yours. I'm gonna buy some.
They're so lovely. They're so
They're
lovely.
gorgeous. They're gorgeous. So when you're preparing to well, how did you know that you had this ability to commune with the angels? Um, because there have been times when I have sort of put the word out, like, I want to talk to this angel, or I want to talk to Gabriel, or, and I just feel like that's not where I'm supposed to be for some reason. I don't know if that makes sense. It's not necessary for me to actually have a communication because they're always here with me. And I don't know. I don't know if that's the case, but how did you know that you had this ability to commune with the angels? I mean, we all have that ability, but that you had this special ability.
Hi, Kevin. Say hi to everybody. Hi, everyone.
Kevin.
Um,
Kevin's loving
both
vibrations.
Kevins are here.
Hey,
The healing
Kevin.
medium and the loving vibrations. What I did, I had to spend. We had moved from California to another state. Okay, and my mother still lives in California, and she's 88. I'm looking for something. Oh, it's right. You're right on top. And so I was with my mother for like 6 months, and she's still alive. She's 88. She's hanging in there. But I had the Angel Bible,
Oh,
and in it, and it's all dog-eared, and things are in here, and it gives you meditation. Oh, and I've even I see that I've highlighted some things, and it has a lot of information that's like it's a pick and choose what you want, but it has meditations in it to connect with the angels, like so so I felt Archangel Uriel and Archangel Metatron's presence a lot in my life. Those were the two angels because I've been doing angels for a long time on my own. Like I said, been doing my own thing, and those angels came up a lot. So I know that those are two angels that work with me. And I
when
think
they came in, how did you differentiate the two? I mean, when one came in and the other?
in my cards,
Oh, okay.
okay, but I also would. So I would pull the cards sometimes, but sometimes I would just feel that energy, and I can feel Uriel. Uriel to me is yellow.
Okay.
Okay. And so I know I get colors a lot. And that comes with that what do you every once in a while I get that thing where my eyes are closed and I'm listening to something and I just see a whole bunch of colors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so for me it's very music. I get messages in music and through colors. And I was just pulling angel cards, and those were the ones that kept coming up.
Oh,
So
okay.
then I read in my book, okay, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Shamiel. And one time, and there's these meditations in here. And one time, honestly, I went to Archangel Shamiel's esoteric retreat in a meditation.
What?
Yeah, and that was very interesting. Very interesting. It was all rose quartz.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that must have felt amazing.
It did feel amazing, and I always question it. I'm like, yeah, come on, Jane, snap out of it.
I know.
You didn't really do that. But we got to start believing in ourselves, because if we don't believe in ourselves, you know,
Who will?
who will? So we got to believe and trust in the knowledge and wisdom that we receive.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
yeah.
Rose quartz. That's one of my favorite stones, and it just really calms me down when I'm, upset about anything. It doesn't really matter, big or small. It has that effect on me. And wow, I'm just so fascinated with the angels. And so, can you tell me about Archangel Ariel?
Well, Archangel Ariel is not, I don't know that Archangel Ariel is one of the, there's angels that have been in the Bible, and then there's angels that just sort of have come on.
Mm.
Um, let me just let me look at my little book here for a minute. I'm not ashamed.
Oh, I didn't want to put you on the spot. I thought you would look in the book.
Yeah, yeah, this one is not in the book, but I can go over here. I think this is probably where I know Archangel. Sorry, excuse me, pardon me. That's rude. Give me just 1 minute. You said Ariel.
Yes.
I know she's in here. And so
It's just that I went to a reader and she told me that Archangel Ariel was, I don't know if you could, I'm a little confused. Can you have angel? They're just a guide, right? They're guide.
yeah, I mean,
I'm using the wrong like pronouns or something. Or can you have one angel, or it's a
yeah,
host?
okay. So Ariel, in this particular angel thing that I have here, says, and it's a beautiful card.
Oh, wow.
Okay, it's a beautiful card. And this one says, new psychic and spiritual experiences are changing the way you view the world and yourself. Makes a lot of sense for you. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Allow your spiritual gifts to open through study, prayer, and meditation. And this is probably why Ariel works with you so much. Because you're doing all this stuff, you're opening up your what you've been, the things that you want to do and how you're
Mhm.
doing them. It's it's all right there. New psychic
And
experience.
the fact that's Ariel is an angel of nature really sort of resonates with me because I'm a Taurus, and I love the planet to a degree where I just I want to be a great steward for the planet, and I know that you do as well.
Absolutely.
So, what else do you enjoy doing on your channel that we could share with everybody here? Um,
I think what I enjoy the most, and I don't do this like to keep people on my page or for view hours or anything like that.
mhm.
But I have always said, the way I started was by doing the angels. So in the beginning, I pull the angels for the day, and it's a collective, it's for everybody. Okay. And then I put those off to the side, and those are going to go up on my altar and under my pillow. But then I open it up to doing some readings and pulling some angels for some people, and whatever it is that whoever is with me that they want. And what's and then at the very end, I will read a postcard from Spirit and a Wild Kuan Yin card for the Soul Tribe. And what I found to be the most interesting thing, now I'm getting Bugs Bunny, most interesting thing is is how the angels, it's like pulling it's a thread that goes through all of the readings, and it's just like a miracle. And then at the very end, when I read the postcard from Spirit, it just it all just ties it up in a little bow. It just packages it up in this nice little bow, and it's like, and all it, and I say a prayer every when I open up my when I first start my lives.
Hmm.
And I say, keep me in wonder and amazement. Keep me out of fear and keep me in wonder and amazement. And every single morning that I do this, I'm like, I'm so amazed that that happened. Well, duh, Jane, you asked to be kept in wonder and amazement all the time. So, and no wonder you're always wondered and amazed. I ask for it. So there I tell you, ask for it. because you will get it. Like I say, I'm like, that was so amazing. Did you see how that happened? And I'm like, well, of course that happened because that's what I
You
asked
asked.
for.
It feels so simple, but it's just, it feels so simple, but through the ages, what's the thing? Ask and you shall receive, right? So, yes, that makes so much sense. And I don't know why I haven't, well, I've been busy doing other things, but I don't know why I haven't spent more time on, the angel. I go to classes all the time because I think that we continuously learn. If we stop searching, then we'll stop finding. Ask and you shall receive. So you want to take a lot of stock in moving through new ideas and new concepts. So but the angel, I've even delved into the fairy world, but the angel world is something that I haven't really done. So it's so exciting to me to hear about. Oh my gosh. I
You,
love that. Are those cards?
yeah,
Oh my goodness.
I just got them. They were a gift to the channel. I
Yay.
love all my viewers. They're so wonderful and so giving and so gracious. But let me show you, like, so when I like to use these when I do have the Mystic Fairy Tarot, and
Yeah, I
I'm going
have
to
that one
start
too.
using that. Okay, one flipped on me. Nope, it didn't flip. Okay. Um when I use the Sacred Traveler or the Sacred Forest, I'm wanting to now seal that with one of these. So like I'll just pull one and they're just kind of interesting. All right, so here we go. This is what it looks like. Sorry for the
Oh,
glare. Okay. And this one says, the spirit familiar. Seek loving connections and cherish friendships. And
that's beautiful.
didn't you just say seek and you will find? I mean, we did not ask and you will receive, seek and you will find. Um, oh, there was a flipper. I thought there wasn't. There was a flipper. The flipper is the North Wood Fae. Take time for hibernation and healing. And here we are on Shining Hawk Healing. That was the
Because
flipper.
I love those cards. I'm gonna get those too.
you,
Write that down.
you need a wish list.
I know. I need a list because I have a few decks, but I don't really have a lot. I mean, most of the decks that I have, you can see that they're very dog-eared, and I really, this is one that the Psychic Tarot that I really like. It really resonates with me. It's John Holland, and then the the nature, or what was the Sacred Forest
Yeah.
cards that you have. I have that deck as well. I love those cards. The pictures are so pretty, and the muted colors. It's not like bam, but it's like, oh my gosh, I just want to crawl up into this card and just go to sleep. It's so soothing.
Exactly. When I'm reading, and I saw that you use those cards too. When I'm using those cards, I see myself, like you say, walking through the doorway, because it has that doorway
Yes,
right there, right? So I
yes.
see myself and I say, where do I find whomever it is I'm reading for? And I can actually smell the forest and I can hear the waterfalls. And I'm like, and I see the fairies and the elves and the butterflies and all the animals and the bunnies. And I know this sounds really super weird, but this is what goes on in my head. Okay. And then I say, where am I finding whomever it is, whomever it is. And then I find them, and that's where they are. And I have to trust in that. But that's how I use the Sacred Forest
Love
cards.
that. And I looked at that box I think that's what sort of drew me to that deck, was because there is a door in that tree, and it's my thing. And so that deck spoke to me so personally, and that's why I love it so much. So I've just like so many questions for you. I can't. So when you have a client, you have clients, do you do readings for people?
I do private readings. I don't have like regular people. I mean,
Mhm.
but I do readings.
So you guys, if you want an angel reading, you know where to go. You know where to go. Look no further. Here she is. So what is your process? Do you, when you're doing a reading for someone with the angels, uh, how do you figure out it's through the cards? How do you figure out who their angel guides are?
Well, what I do is I don't necessarily, if people ask for an angel card, I will pull an angel card for them. But what I like to do is when I'm shuffling, is what I say is, dear spirit guides and angels, we seek your wisdom and guidance. What is your wisdom and guidance for,
The person.
Tony, for whomever it is? What is
Mhm.
what is your wisdom and guidance? We seek your wisdom and guidance. And then I say, thank you. Thank you. Like I go like this. I go, and so I'm doing this. I'm going, I seek your wisdom and guidance, and I thank you, thank you, thank you. And I know when it's my third thank you to stop. And that's just the way I do it. And then um and isn't that funny? Look who came up on the bottom, the Hierophant. Where because then and I always say when to people, it's always like when we get obey the spiritual laws, when you get the Hierophant, I always say, and what are the spiritual laws?
The law of attraction.
Ask and you
Oh,
shall
asking you shall
receive.
receive.
I mean, I'm not a I personally, and I don't mean to offend anyone, I am not a Christian. But
Mm,
I do believe in the teachings of Jesus and the Buddha, and I just take a little bit of everything. But I do believe that in that spirit, I think that that is the spiritual law, is
mm.
ask and you shall receive, be open. And sometimes the answer is no. And you got to be okay with that too.
It's just that simple.
Because what is meant for you will be for you. What is not meant for you will not be for you.
Right. And
And
we can sit around and we can feel bad or depressed that what we think we want is not coming to us when what we actually need and really want is sitting right next to us, probably, usually.
exactly, exactly. And I did a lot of work recently on healing my childhood.
Mm.
And by writing a letter with my non dominant hand from my child, from Janie, when I was a
Mhm.
little girl, everybody called me Janie. So Janie wrote a letter to Jane, and then Jane wrote a letter to Janie. And through that, because I was labeled a failure, you never follow through on anything,
Mm.
by my mother, and so I'm like, why did I not follow through with the gymnastics, the figure skating, the ballet, the whatever it was? And what I discovered was, by writing the letter back to Janie, was that actually those angels that were around my bed, the reason why I didn't do gymnastics anymore or figure skating or anything like that was because at the time I did not know this, but I was born with a multiskeletal disorder, a syndrome.
Oh,
And I've had my neck is fused from C2 to T1.
whoa.
And so had I continued so really what I thought, well, my parents just don't want to spend the money or this, that, and the other thing, and I believed those stories that were told to me, when the reality is, and putting the dots together, was it was my angels were protecting me.
Mhm. Those things were not meant for you.
They were not meant for me, because had I landed wrong,
Mm. Oh. Mhm.
so I know that I am divinely guided and protected, just as all of us are. And it's just, you just have to believe and tap into that. And like I said, if you keep asking for something and you're like, it's not coming and I don't know why, it's because it's not for you, or it doesn't look exactly the way you think it was supposed to look.
Mhm. I
Right?
know when I was a kid, I used to my family used to call me Space Cadet. And I didn't, it was horrible at the time. It's like, well, I'm not too spacey. I mean, I I don't know. My head was in the clouds a lot, yes, but being a star seed, it's like, of course, yes, you're a space cadet. What else are you gonna be?
Yeah, I mean, I spent my whole like a lot of us spent our did who here, raise your hand, spent your childhood looking up at the stars going, I want to go home. Like, it's so beautiful up there. I'm a part of this big, huge thing, right?
Yeah, this place is horrible. I want to go home.
Yes, something like that. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the letter to your Maridas. I love the idea of writing a letter to your younger self. I'm putting that on my to-do list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and you write a letter from your younger self to your adult self using your non-dominant hand,
Hmm.
and then write your letter to then your adult self, write it to your child self, and you can really unravel those stories that those stories that you live in. My life was this way. I did
Hmm.
that. I did this. I did
I'm
that.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, right? This is the stories we tell ourselves. Well, you may find that these stories that you tell yourself, that wasn't really true.
Right.
There was
Yeah.
a deeper and bigger meaning to that story.
Yeah. When I journey to my sacred space, sometimes I know that I meet younger versions of myself in that place. And she and I, whichever version, because there's a 6-year-old who's always there, and then there's a 1-year-old who's always there. The 1-year-old sort of has things to work out, and then the 6-year-old has things to work out. So she and I, we sit by the water. We have conversations. There's a waterfall, and and all of the animals, that dolphins that come to visit us or whatever. And we have conversations about what it was that was holding us back at the time. How did we feel? How did I feel? How did we feel at the time? So those are times when I can go into that space and speak to my younger self and have those conversations and work out those things that I didn't necessarily know how to do at the time.
I
So
love that. So you're doing basically what I did, but you're doing it by talking. And just so you know, that the Janie was 6 years old.
wow. Synchronicity.
Yeah, that was and I'm not just saying that. That's the honest truth. And so I was like, your 6-year-old self. That's who wrote the letter to me, was my 6-year-old self. Now I've never gone down to 1-year-old self,
Mm.
but I have experienced my pre-birth. So
Wow.
you know,
Wow.
yeah. So
Wow.
that's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
That's for a whole other show called something else. Crazy stories with the
Crazy stories from the other side.
yes, yes.
We should do that show, Crazy Stories from the Other
Let's
Side.
do it. I'm down. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It's so refreshing to have a conversation about, I love talking about spirituality, and I love talking about how to go deeper within, and you obviously have, you've got this connection, and it shows. You glow. It just comes out of you like, oh.
Thank
Who
you.
is that? Who is that woman? So thank you. I'm just like, I have so many other questions, but I want to just look at, um
Yeah.
Yeah, your loving platform. Is there a new is there a new something that you're working on for your show that's new? Just some new thing that you're bringing in? Is there anything new that you're introducing into your, I guess, your lineup, um, for from anything that you've been? I know you take classes as well. So is there anything that you have sort of picked up that you maybe want to apply to what's going on in your, maybe not in your on your channel, but maybe in your life?
Well, I feel like I have been thinking for a while of change. I need to switch things up a little bit, and I keep telling myself that my prayer that I open up with in the morning, and it's filled with I am statements,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm always like, I'm working on that. I'm going to do a new prayer, but I'm always like, but this one works so well. This one's so good. But there, I feel like it is a little bit stagnant, and so I would like to introduce different ways of doing things, a little different things. I'm trying to branch out a little bit to share the angels, but I don't know what that looks like.
Do you have a book in you?
I have several books in me and a
Yes.
television show. So
And what? Say what?
a
You said
television show. I'm tired.
really?
I'm tired of. Oh, yes, that's it. I used to run every day, and I was running my dog, and all of the sudden, and I'll just tell you this real quick. I was just running, and all of a sudden, boom, this person came into my body and said, "You're telling this story." And I got the whole story from start to finish.
Wow. Is this the TV show that you want to?
Yeah,
Wow.
it turned into me a TV show, but it could be a novel, and I haven't really done anything with it because maybe I glow and maybe I don't seem shy, but I am extremely shy. And so I don't feel worthy a lot of times. So I'm kind of like, but I do love the show that I have written and the ideas behind it. And
Mhm.
you know, maybe the angels, my spirit guides, maybe that's what I need to do is connect more. But and about changing the format of what I'm doing on my show or my lives on my YouTube channel. I just feel like it works so well. I love seeing that thread that goes through everything. So the only thing that I might be doing is doing a little 1 hour segment live in an afternoon and doing something just a little bit different with that. And I
Mm.
don't know exactly what that's going to look like yet, but um, I do like the intimacy that I have.
I think I don't know. I love the format that you have, and what I was wondering more was, I guess, if there was anything that you were bringing in new as far as ideas that you're getting, like downloads that you're getting now. Not that you should change anything, but just wondering if there was anything that was going on for you that you wanted to do more on your channel. I think that's pretty much what I'm
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. All the time. If I receive a download or I get a message or something like I hear something really important, I will just in my show, I'll be like, this is the message for today. And what was it? One day it was about fear, false
Oh,
evidence appearing real,
yeah.
right? And I don't even remember what the whole message was about, but it was all about, and I felt like I was just like, we need to get out of this fear and move through the fear. So
Mm.
so sometimes messages do come and I can't stop talking about them.
Well, if the change might be just changing, not changing, but adding on maybe another show, maybe an afternoon show that I could actually.
And you could come on and visit me. I see where we're going
You
now.
don't want to see me at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's not pretty.
I
I just
know.
wanted to show you this card.
Oh, yes. Isn't that lovely? Exactly. See, I need your deck. That I could have showed that all morning long. See, it's even right here. It's in a card. I'm telling you, false evidence appealing real. Or somebody said, face everything and run.
I love it. I love it, love it. Yeah, I mean, gosh, fear just is like the such, and it's so much of it right now on the planet, right? It's just, it's like a blanket, and we are, and all of us light workers are like, we got our little scissors out, and we're trying to cut little holes in in the blanket of fear that's, that's just sort of taking over right now. But it's gonna work. We're gonna do fine. We're gonna be great. And because we say it, we've said it, we've we've stated it, we've made that declaration, and we shall.
We
We
speak
shall.
it into being.
Exactly. We dance our dream awake. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So thank you so much, Jane, for being here. It's you're a light. You are just amazing, and I'm so happy that you agreed to be on my show, because it's just I love it. I could sit here for hours and talk to you, but I have to go.
Yes. Yes. Me too. I understand. Thank you so much for having me.
You and you guys go to Jane's channel, support her, become subscribers, share her gift, share her love, share her gifts to us, and just pass it on, pass it on. That's why we're here. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks to everyone in the chat, and thank you to all of the moderators again. You are so amazing. And it just, I don't think I had a whole lot of people. What do you call those what do you call it? Trolls.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get a lot of trolls, but but thank you guys so much. And I will see you next week. Same time, same bat channel. And let's try to get up early and see Jane too.
And I'll add an afternoon show one of these days.
Yay!
Woo! I'll do it.
All right. So thank you guys again. Walk in beauty, walk in peace, and walk in joy. Bye, everyone.